Got DeAndre Hopkins, newly added to the Tennessee Titans. He was wide receiver 47 last year, 64 receptions, 96 targets, 717 in yards, 3 touchdowns, an average of 10.7 targets per game. Thoughts on D-Hop?
Don't let the wide receiver ranking fool you, right? D-Hop missed first chunk, the first quarter plus of the regular season last year, came back and was a target monster yet again. So, I think there's a path for him to be in the back end of wide receiver one territory. And I'll be interested to see how it adapts, right? This is really the first time he's been in a true run first offense. And I am also a little interested to see how Tannehill does with him, right? Like A.J. Brown did well with his year with Ryan Tannehill. So it's not that they can't feature a wide receiver one, but that was a completely different offense, right? Different coordinator, different scheme, a younger offensive line. And so the hesitancy I have with D-Hop is not his ability as a player and as a wide receiver. It is the ability of the Titans to keep their quarterback upright. So all in all, I expect him as 125, 130 targets. I think he's going to end up with, 102 catches, 103. Like, I think he just kind of gets over that. I think you'll see his touchdowns tick back up, probably 6 or 7, right? Like, I don't know that you're going to see like an all-pro season out of him just based off of how this Tennessee offense is going to be formulated. But I do think he's going to be a wide receiver one. And at the back end of that, there's good value right now.
There's 2 points I want to make here. And one of them is a question that I feel like is worth talking about. The first point is that Kevin, I think in a not to steal the phrase here, but in a fantasy world, I do think that what you're saying is true. In reality, though, I'm not so sure that, he can command those numbers. Last year, the Titans wide receiver group had 2 100-yard receiving games. It was just a rough go there in Tennessee. And then, obviously they did the experiment with, I can't even think of his name right now. What?
Julio.
Oh, there was that, but then there was the quarterback.
Robert Woods
experiment.
was also there. Malik Willis.
Yeah, Malik Willis. Thank you. There was that, where obviously he's not going to get you, the passing numbers that you expect. So I don't know. I think that you need to temper your expectations because there was decent receiver play there last year. This offense, runs through Derrick Henry, and that doesn't leave a lot for receivers. I think you're right, Kevin. I think it would be a shock if he is targeted less than 23%. I think that is a very fair number and a great expectation for him. But I just don't know that, if you only throw the football, 25 times in a game, well, then what is that? If he gets a quarter of those.
You are more bullish on him than I am. I don't know that I can get all the way up into wide receiver one for him. I think that we'll see him get into wide receiver 2 type of production this year. The reason I say that is even if he dominates 25% of the target share in Tennessee, you're realistically talking anywhere from 115 to 120 total targets out there. Which he can do, right? But I see him probably getting to the point where 75 to 80 receptions. So I'm kind of right there in the same ballpark as you on that one. Call it around 950 or so as far as yardage and probably about 6 touchdowns. And I think
his catch rate's only going to be 75%.
I think that there is going to be some of that because I think you're going to see some bracket coverage on that one there. And part of the thing that we've always seen Tennessee do where the wide receiver breaks out and why A.J. Brown was so successful in this one and other wide receivers have had struggles in that deal, right? Regardless whether it was Julio or Robert Woods, who both of those I get were on the tail end of their careers there. Both of those guys where it really came to be and where A.J. Brown really was successful and succeeded on that was the play action pass where they bit on it and it was up and over the top and he would get it and then break away and he'd turn what should have been maybe about a 5 to 8 yard reception into a 50, 60 yard touchdown type of scoring drive on that one. So I think that, we were talking a little bit before. I think that the D-Hop there certainly takes a lot of the pressure off of Treylon Burks, and we may see him with some of those touchdown shots there. But I don't see the D-Hop is going to be that guy that breaks it up over the top of that thing. So I just don't think that we're going to see him get to a full-on wide receiver 1, but I think he can get into upper end wide receiver 2, mid-tier type of wide receiver 2. So